Support for Mountain Stage is provided by Adventures on the Gorge, the adventure resort where wild meets wonderful on the rim of the New River Gorge in West Virginia. Find whitewater rafting, rock climbing, ziplining, and lodging at adventuresonthegorge.com.
There's a spring in the mountain and it flows down to the town.
From NPR Music and West Virginia Public Broadcasting, with support provided by Bailey and Glasser and by the West Virginia Tourism Office. Welcome to another Mountain Stage with our host, Larry Gross.
There's a song in my heart, just a simple little tune, but the rhythm and the melody won't leave me alone. Around the world it's just a simple song. This world is turning round, a simple song. Well, thank you so much. Welcome once again to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia. We are at our home at the Culture Center Theater in Charleston, West Virginia, to celebrate our 36th year. It's our anniversary today. And when we do that, we always like to have something old, something new, and something very special. And boy, do we have that. We have a man who has the hottest ticket in America. During our next hour, you're going to be hearing Mr. Tyler Childers and an extended set. Also during our next hour, a good friend of ours, really one of the world's great mandolin players, and as you'll find out, he's also a fine singer and songwriter. Johnny Staats is back with his band. A little later during this hour, we're going to hear one of America's great songwriters and singer-songwriters. Mary Gauthier is back to see us, and we're happy about that. And we have West Virginia's finest storyteller. You're going to love his story. Mr. Bill Lepp is also back to be with us. But I said something old and something new, so we're going to start off with a band that's never been on the show before. And the leader of the band, the singer here and songwriter, is Miss Tess. She started out on the East Coast in Maryland. She lived all up and down from New York to Boston, D.C., all around. Now she lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and been playing for about 10 years. We've been remiss. We should have had her on before this. Her music has a lot of different flavors you're gonna hear right away. You can hear honky-tonk country, classic country, rhythm and blues, some of that old jazz, New Orleans-style jazz. All of it will come up in her own unique mix. Her latest album is called The Moon is an Ashtray. Welcome for the first time to the Mountain Stage, Miss Tess and the Talkbacks.
keep you out of my mind. So long to this house, goodbye to this town. Tell my friends that I'm ready to go. I'm gonna ride that train going fast, fast, fast all the way down to Mexico. There won't be any stopping with the speed that I'm clocking or the dust I left behind. I can't do anything but ride that train and keep you off my mind. I can't do anything but ride that train and keep you out of my mind. Thank you. The moon is an ashtray, catching dreams that have burned away. They couldn't stand up to the flame, so they flickered and died. The moon is an ashtray, holding memories of happy days. Fallen embers gently finds their place and never return. Although they are stardust floating free, I know they were never meant for me. The moon is an ashtray, sitting high above the landscape, covered by the ash of yesterday, to crater and wane. Although they are stardust floating free, I know they were never meant for me. The moon is an ashtray, sitting high above the landscape, covered by the ash of yesterday, so never to shine, so never to shine, so never to shine, so never to shine. Yeah, it's great to be here, our first time on Mountain Stage. Thanks for having us. That song is the title track from our album out in February of 2020. A very romantic number, The Moon is an Ashtray. And we're going to play a couple more songs off that album, including this next one. It's called If You Don't Know How to Love Me. It's a little sad, I apologize. But we'll bring it up after that. Two people talk hand in hand while they walk down the street, just like you and me. Together they pass and they dance if they're asked, round and round so the people can see, but nobody knows them like you and me. Two people ignored when they both close the door, lie awake in their own separate dreams, next to each other and under the covers, their eyes closed where no one can see, but nobody knows them like you and me. If you don't know how to love me and all the time that we've had, I know that you're trying, but I still feel so sad. I've tried to explain it, but just 'cause I'm talking don't mean that you will understand that you don't know how to love me, my man. Sometimes I think about leaving, but then I decide to stay. Maybe one day I'll follow my feeling when I'm not afraid of the change. If you don't know how to love me, I can't tell you how. I know Thank you. Thanks very much. I think we got time for one more song here. I want to do a quick introduction of my band. They drove here today with me all the way from Nashville. Give it up for Reese Williams on the upright bass over here. Back there on the drums, that's Mr. Matt Meyer with his signature wave. Doing double duty on the Telecaster and pedal steel guitar, this is Thomas Brian Eaton, everybody. My name is Miss Tess. Thanks for listening. We're going to close out with our the first single we released off the new record, a song called True Flood. And on the recorded version, got to record a duet with Rachel Price, who sings it with a great band called Lake Street Dive. So check that out. And but for now, Thomas is going to be our Rachel today. So here we go. Thanks y'all so much. Have a great night.
From Nashville, Miss Tess and the Talkbacks. And Miss Tess, as I say, she grew up over in Maryland. Her parents were in a 30s dance band, big band. You can kind of hear that in some of her music. Her latest album is The Moon is an Ashtray. It's just out. Time for the Mountain Stage Band and our own Julie Adams to do a tune. Mountain Stage Band is Ron Soul back there on the acoustic guitar is the leader. Bob Thompson is on the piano. Ryan Kennedy is playing lead guitar. Michael Lipton playing the other lead guitar, but he's playing button accordion on this song. Mr. Steve Hill is our bass player. Ahmed Solomon is playing the drums. We have a special guest on the mandolin, Mr. Johnny Staats. You'll hear a lot more of him later on. Julie has chosen a song written by John Hyatt, Ry Cooder, and Jim Dickinson. It's called Across the Borderline. Say hello to Julie Adams.
There's a place where I've been told every street is paved with gold, and it's just across the borderline. When it's time to take your turn, here's a lesson that you must learn. You could lose more than you'll ever hope to find. When you reach the broken promised land, and every dream slips through your hands, then you'll know it's too late to change your mind. 'Cause you paid the price to come so far, just to wind up where you are, and you're still just across the borderline. Up and down the Rio Grande, 1,000 footprints in the sand reveal a secret no one can define. The river flows on like a breath in between our life and death. Tell me who's the next to cross the borderline. When you reach the broken promised land, every dream slips through your hands, come this far just to wind up where you are, and you're still just across the borderline, and you're still just across the borderline.
Julie Adams, Mountain Stage Band, special guest Johnny Staats on the mandolin, Across the Borderline. You're listening to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia.
Support for this podcast is provided by the West Virginia Tourism Office. There are places you visit and places you behold. You'll find natural wonders and endless experiences in the Mountain State, West Virginia, a place that's almost heaven. More information at wvtourism.com.
Remember, if you missed part of this Mountain Stage or you want to hear something again, you can always visit the podcast section of mountainstage.org. Each podcast will include songs we don't have time to fit on the radio, as well as our complete finale song. And if you enjoy the show, do us a favor, take a moment to subscribe and leave a review wherever it is that you listen. Well, our next guest is making her sixth visit to the Mountain Stage, and it's always a special occasion when she comes because, as I said at the beginning, she is one of America's great songwriters. Her songs have been recorded by Jimmy Buffett and Tim McGraw, Blake Shelton, Bobby Bare, and Kathy Mattea, among many others. And one astounding thing about that is that she didn't write a song until she was 35 years old. She ran away from home at 15, had a difficult life for a while, ended up starting a restaurant in Boston and made a success out of that, but the muse called her and she got into singing and songwriting. And her latest, which was released last year, called Rifles and Rosary Beads, is something very, very special because the 11 songs on this record were co-written with and for wounded veterans. She's nominated for a Grammy for that. She brought a friend with her. Please welcome back to the Mountain Stage, Mary Gauthier.
Wonderful to be back on this stage. Happy 36th anniversary to Mountain Stage and all the good folks who make this possible. I'd like to introduce straight away Jamie Harris, who's up here with me tonight. We've been on the road nonstop since that Grammy nomination for these songs that we were privileged to write with veterans and their families. We're going to play a couple of those for y'all here. The first one is a song I co-wrote with a group of 6 wives through this program I'm a part of called Songwriting with Soldiers. It pairs up professional songwriters with wounded veterans and their families at retreat centers around the country. And the songwriters bear witness, and we listen to the stories, and we turn the veterans' stories into songs. This first one was written with a group of wives, 6 women whose husbands served in different branches of the military at different times, but their stories were remarkably similar. And as I sat and listened to them tell me what their lives were like, what I heard them saying is, Mary, there's a war after the war. And we're living it, and we don't often feel visible. In fact, we feel invisible. And so this song is called The War After the War, and it's got 7 co-writers. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Who's gonna care for the ones who care for the ones who went to war? There's landmines in the living room, eggshells on the floor. Lost myself in the shadow of your honor and your pain. You stare out of the window as our dreams go down the drain. Invisible, the war after the war. I get no basic training, I get no Purple Heart. I am supposed to carry on, I can't fall apart. People look at you and thank you for the sacrifice you made. They look at me and smile, say I'm lucky you're okay. Invisible, the war after the war. But I'm a soldier too, just like you, serving something bigger than myself. I serve unseen, caught in between my pain and the pain of someone else. But I'm stronger than you think I am. I'm right here by your side. I am not your enemy, I don't wanna fight. There's no going back in time, I know you're not the same. But you are not the only one for whom the world has changed. Invisible, the war after the war. Invisible, the war after the war. Yeah, thank y'all. One more time. The program is called Songwriting with Soldiers. It's a nonprofit program that pairs up veterans with songwriters. We believe that songs can be far more than just entertainment. In some ways, songs can be alchemy. They can help take some poison out and create an opportunity for healing. I love working with the veterans, and I love songwriting with soldiers. If you're here tonight or out in radio land, please contact us, songwritingwithsoldiers.org. The program is free to veterans and their families. We get funded through a variety of means. This next song I also wrote with someone through this program, and this was an individual veteran, a woman, a female combat pilot and flight instructor. And her name's Jennifer Marino, and what she taught me as we sat down to write is that we're losing a huge number of our veterans every single day to suicide. The official number is right around 22 a day. And she taught me as we went further into this song that the things that you master that make you a good soldier are very hard to quit doing when you come home. And these aren't the things that make a great marriage. Shutting down your feelings, shutting down your natural reactions, and being in a position to try and control how you feel is very, very difficult. And it is important to do that in a battle. You need to respond, not react. But at home, it gets quite complicated. This is called soldiering on. This is for the 22 that we're losing every day. It goes like this. I was bound to something bigger, more important than a single human life. I wore the uniform with honor. My service was not a sacrifice. But what saves you in the battle can kill you at home. A soldier, soldiering on. You don't fight for yourself, you fight for the ones by your side. And they do the same for you. To live, you must be willing to die. And what saves you in the battle can kill you at home. A soldier on. Suck it up, shut it down. It don't matter how you feel. Mission first, just drive on. A soldier is a cog inside a wheel. Up or down, all for one, the closest family I have known. A soldier, soldier on. I was bound to something bigger, more important than a single human life. I wore the uniform with honor. My service was not a sacrifice. But what saves you in the battle can kill you at home. A soldier, soldier on. A soldier, soldier. Well, thank y'all very much. So sometimes we do couples retreats through Songwriting with Soldiers, and this next song I'm going to play for you came from a couples retreat, a very specialized couples retreat. Each branch of the military has what's called EOD. EOD stands for Explosive Ordnance Disposal. These are women and men, mostly men, who are highly trained bomb experts. They save lives every single day. When bombs are discovered, they're called in, and the troops are pulled out. And they dismantle the bombs, and in their work every day, they're saving other lives. These are devastatingly dangerous jobs, and as you can imagine, these marriages are under an intense amount of pressure. And at this couples retreat, I had the privilege of sitting with a group of 6 women married to EOD warriors. Their husbands had been in explosions, missing legs, missing fingers, a broken back, eardrums blown out, you name it. And I asked them, how do you live that way? How do you... I mean, that's a lot of pressure on a marriage. Young people, mostly, with young kids. Their partners are gone for months at a time. The phone doesn't ring because they're on secret missions and they can't call home. And the wife said, Mary, we do it together. We're stronger together. We stay close, us wives. We look after each other. We look after each other's kids. We share meals. We are friends for life. And I just put stronger together on the top of the page. And we proceeded to write what's now being called the EOD Wives song. And this is their story. They say no man's left behind. That ain't true. And they hate it that they need us, but they do. They lose their fingers, lose their limbs. We try to love them back together again. They say no man's left behind. That ain't true. And they're hurt in places that the eye can't see. We miss the man our husbands used to be. The military breaks their heart. We're there when they fall apart. They're hurt in places that the eye can't see. And we're stronger together. Sisters forever. We are stronger together. Sisters forever. And we focus on the good, that's all we've got. It don't look like much, but we know it's a lot. Every time he says goodbye could be the last time we see him alive. We focus on the good, that's all we got. EOD wives don't sit by the phone. No news is good news back at home. When he's mission ready at his best, we take care of all the rest. EOD wives don't sit by the phone. And we're stronger together. Sisters forever. We're stronger together. Sisters forever. Well, this is the part of the show where we're going to ask you to sing along with us. It's your big chance to be on Mountain Stage Radio. I feel you shrinking in your chair right now out there in Radio Land. Please join us in this chorus if you would. It would sound so pretty in this theater. Now, I do realize I'm asking a lot of you West Virginia fellas to call yourself a sister here tonight. May not be on your top 3 to-do things on the list there, but it's only 2 choruses, and it sure would sound good if we could sing this together. For the EOD members of our military, let's sing it, will we? We're stronger together, sisters, forever, stronger together, sisters, forever. Here we go. I sure do thank y'all. And I do believe we are stronger together. We'll play one more for you. This one we had the privilege of having Kathy Mattea record and sing, maybe even on this show, I'm not sure. But Kathy's been singing it for the last little bit since her record came out. Bobby Bear Sr. recorded it, and a whole bunch of other people have recorded. This is a song that is going to probably end up on my tombstone. It's called Mercy Now. Well, my father sure could use a little mercy now. The fruits of his labor falling right slowly on the ground. His work is almost over. Won't be long, he won't be around. I love my father. He could use some mercy now. And my brother sure could use a little mercy now. He's a stranger to freedom, shackled to his fear and doubt. The pain that he lives in is almost more than living will allow. I love my brother. He could use some mercy now. my church and my country, they could use a little mercy now. As they sink into a poison pit, it's gonna take forever to climb out. They carry the weight of the faithful who follow them down. I love my church and country, they could use some mercy now. Every living thing could use a little mercy now. Only the hand of grace can end the race towards another mushroom cloud. There's people in power who'll do anything to keep their crown. I love life, life itself could use some mercy now. Yeah, we all could use a little mercy now. Oh, I know we don't deserve it, but we need it anyhow. We hang in the balance, we dangle between hell and hallowed ground. And every single one of us could use some mercy now. Yeah, every single one of us could use some mercy now. Thank y'all. God bless.
Along with Jamie Harris, that was Mary Gauthier. That was Mary Gauthier along with Jamie Harris. Her latest is Rifles and Rosary Beads on 30 Tigers. And you can check her out. Check her website. That's spelled Gauthier. Gauthier. We hope you'll take a look at our website, mountainstage.org. You can find links there to our podcast. You can also follow us on just about every form of social media. And, of course, we invite you to follow us to our next live show. You can find out where we're going to be and get your tickets right on the website, mountainstage.org. It's time now to welcome back a good friend, a man who has won West Virginia's Biggest Liar 5 times. They finally retired him from that one, made him a judge. He's a storyteller. As the Charleston Gazette said, a cross between Dr. Seuss and film noir. And I think you'll find out why they said that. He's the author of 6 books and 16 audio collections, the latest of which is called book report. Please welcome back to the mountain stage, Mr. Bill Lepp.
Thank you very much. About 18 months ago, summer last year, I was watching some stupid TV show, and over the credits at the end was a Mary Gauthier song, That Mercy Now, and I immediately downloaded a whole bunch of her albums, and I don't think a day has gone by since then that I haven't listened to on my phone or in my head one of her songs, and I'm just so thankful to be able to be on stage with her tonight. So. I grew up in a little tiny town called Half Dollar, West Virginia. We had two streets in Half Dollar. One was called Main Street, and the other one I'm pretty sure was called, nah, that ain't Main Street. And we had a Methodist church and then your sort of variety pack of Baptist churches. And our parents told us that there were some Catholics that lived over the hill, but we didn't know if that was true or if that was just something they told us so we'd go to bed at night. But one summer we were having a pastor swap. The pastors from the different churches were preaching in each other's churches, and we had the pastor from the Baptist church come and preach at the Methodist church, which was a shock to all of us. And he sort of gave a hell and brimstone sermon, and he said, he talked about the demons of hell descending down and snatching our souls and dragging them to the sulfuric pits. And we were like, yeah, because we were Methodists. And Methodists don't have demons of hell. We have covered dish dinners. And then he followed that up by telling us that, he said, I'll never forget this for a lot of reasons, but he said, when a man does things purely for his own enjoyment and not for the benefit of others or the glory of God, he will be stained and tainted that others may know. I thought, what a great thing. I mean, it didn't really change my life, but it stayed with me. And then when I was in college, during summers, I worked at a series of camps, and one of the camps I worked at was a camp called Camp Horseshoe, which is just outside of St. George, which is just outside of Parsons. If that clears it up for you. And that summer, this Baptist preacher, he was the camp director that summer. He was an interesting character, same guy, gruff old guy. I say he was old, but now I realize he was probably 35. But he had this wonderful attitude where he really didn't care if you agreed with him because he knew that he was right and that you would either one day come to see things his way or you would go to hell. And he was satisfied with either outcome. So working at this particular camp in this one cabin was myself, my buddy Skeeter, our buddy Wally, and our friend Uncle Debo. Now, Uncle Debo was not our uncle. In fact, Uncle Debo was a year younger than we were. But everybody called the poor kid Uncle Debo because when Uncle Debo was born, he was the last and quite unexpected of 17 children. Now, when he was born, his parents were tired. They couldn't think of a name. So they thought, we'll just call him the boy until something better comes along. And then, through the wonders of time and syllabic manipulation, the boy became da boy, which eventually became Debo. And the reason we called him Uncle is because as the last of 17 children, he had nieces and nephews who were quite a bit older than he was, so it wasn't uncommon to be walking down Main Street and hear some matronly niece yell out, Uncle Debo, you pull up your pants right now, or I'm going to tell Grandma. So the four of us, myself, Skeeter, Wally, and Uncle Debo, we were the counselors in this one cabin, and these were big cabins, probably as wide as this whole stage is. And you walked in, there was a little foyer, and then on either side of the foyer there was a wing, and in each one of those wings there was 25 bunk beds. And if you passed straight through the foyer, there was another little door, and then you entered a room that was about twice the size of a dumpster, but half as clean. And that's where me, Skeeter, Wally, and Uncle Debo lived. And Skeeter, there were two bunk beds, one on each side of the door. And Skeeter slept on the bottom bunk over here. I slept on the top. Wally slept on the bottom bunk over here. Uncle Debo on the top. And then if you passed through that room, there was an exterior door where the four of us could come in and out so that we wouldn't bother the kids. Well, one day Wally cut his finger. and he cut it bad enough that we had to take him over the mountain to get stitches, and they put him on painkillers. And when we got back to the cabin, we were helping him up through the back door. Okay, we weren't really helping him because he was on painkillers, and the stairs were sort of uneven. And it was fun to watch him try and negotiate those stairs. Well, he fell, and he had just enough sense to know that this hand was damaged, so he reached out with this hand to stop his fall, and these two fingers bent all the way back. I know, it's neat to see. Happened to someone else. Because you're like, oh, can the human body do that? And then you're like, no, not successfully. So we had to take him back over the mountain, and they put him in a splint and on more painkillers. And now it was almost supper, so we did help him up the stairs. And we got Wally in bed, and Uncle Debo, Skeeter, and I took the kids to supper, got them in bed, we got in bed, sound asleep. I don't know how long I'd been asleep when I heard Skeeter whispering beneath me, Bill, Bill, wake up, but don't move. Now, I don't know if you've ever been awoken in that fashion. But that is a difficult fashion in which to be awoken. Because you know that something bad is about to happen, and so your body fills with adrenaline, and you want to go wha, but you know if you go wha, you're going to die. So I brought myself slowly to consciousness, and I said, what's the problem? And Skeeter said, there's a skunk in the cabin. And I looked over the edge of the bed, and sure enough, there was a skunk milling around. And Skeeter said, close the door. And I knew what he meant. We had that door that went into the interior part of the cabin. We left that open at night so that we could hear what noises the children were making that we were going to ignore. And Skeeter wanted me to close that door because he knew that if that skunk went out there, it was going to go into one of those wings. One of those 100 children was going to see that skunk, scream, and the skunk was going to go off. But I was thinking to myself, out there is 100 14-year-old boys who haven't bathed in a week. How much worse can it smell? I thought we ought to hang that skunk like an air freshener. But then I remembered that we were contractually obligated to look after the goodwill of those children, so I leaned forward and I shut the door, and it shut with a snick, and it didn't bother the skunk at all. But somewhere in this process, Uncle Debo had awoken. Now, Uncle Debo, I don't want to call the kid stupid, but there's not really a better word for it. I think what happened was, it's just that as the last of 17 children, all of his older siblings had already claimed all of the intelligence genes. And there was just nothing left for poor Uncle Debo to work with. He was a country kid, he was a farm kid, but he just didn't have any common sense. And Uncle Debo said, there's a skunk in the cabin? And Skeeter said, yes. And Uncle Debo said, will it bite? Now that's the wrong question. I mean, if a mountain lion comes into your cabin, you don't think, oh, am I going to get a tick? If wolves come in, you don't think, oh, do they stink? And I wanted to thump him, but I knew if I thumped him, the skunk would go off. So Uncle Debo said, will it bite? And Skeeter said, yes. And Uncle Debo said, how did it get in here? And as if to answer that question, the screen door went, and a second skunk came in. So now there were two skunks milling around. And Uncle Debo said, if one of them bites me, will the other? And Skeeter said, yes. He said, they're like hornets. If you make one mad, you make them all mad. And Uncle Debo said, if one of them goes off, will the other? And I was like, what are they, the Borg? Do they have a collective consciousness? But Skeeter said, yes. And by this time, I was laughing. But it was that quiet laugh, that silent laugh like you do when you're at church or in school or at a funeral. And I could feel Skeeter laughing, too. The bed was rocking at about, like a 1.2 on the Richter scale, and there are tears coming out of my eyes and going into my ears. And I was just trying to figure out what to do, trying to get a hold of myself. And finally, Skeeter got a hold of himself, and he said to me, as seriously as possible, he said, Bill, did you brush your teeth? And I thought I knew where he was going with this. So I said, no. And Uncle Debo said, I brushed my teeth. Why does that matter? And Skeeter said, because skunks are scavengers. They're attracted to scents. They're like bears. And if they smell a scent that they're attracted to, they'll come and investigate. And skunks love toothpaste. And Uncle Debo said, well, I'll be okay. I'm on the top bunk. And Skeeter said, why do you think they call skunks polecats? And Uncle Debo inhaled like he never intended to exhale again. Not like he was trying to kill himself, just like he wasn't going to breathe for the next 70 years. He just sort of went, like that. And by this time, Skeeter and I were almost laughing out loud. But, we were we were taunting. But there was no way we were getting out of this situation alive. So let our tombstone say they went down taunting. And while that was going on, the screen door went, and a third skunk came in. So now there were 3 skunks milling around. And Wally, who had been passed out this entire time, Wally was a perfect camp counselor because Wally was one of those weird people, one of those sick people who think it's neat to get up early in the morning and watch the sun rise. I was 26 before I knew the sun rose. All I'd ever seen it do was set. But not only did he like to get up early, he woke up happy. He'd jump out of bed. He'd go, good morning, and be singing a song about happy trees and little birdies going chirpity chirp, chirp, chirp. And so in the midst of all of this, Wally awoke, and in his drug-addled state, he thought it was morning. So he said, good morning, and he jumped out of bed. And he landed in the center of a triangle of skunks. And with all the innocence of a drunk, he looked down and he said, kitty cats. And he knelt down and he reached out and he started to scratch one of the skunks behind the ears. And the skunk didn't know what was happening, but it wasn't entirely unpleasant. So the skunk came closer and Wally picked him up. And he stood up, and he turned to Uncle Debo. And he said, look, Uncle Debo, a kitty cat. And the skunk crawled off of Wally's hands and onto Uncle Debo's chest. And Uncle Debo sat up, and he screamed. And the skunk bit him. And then all 3 skunks just went off. And Skeeter and I were laying there, coughing, choking, laughing. And we heard a voice from off in the ether that said, boys, 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 when a man does things purely for his own enjoyment, and not for the benefit of others or the glory of God, he will be stained and tainted that others may know. Thank you very much.
Mr. Bill Lepp from right here in Charleston, West Virginia, L-E-P-P. You can look it up and see where he's going to be performing. Always great to hear from Bill. I'd like to say a special hello to you if you're listening right now over WHFR, Dearborn, Michigan, or KLSA, Alexandria, Louisiana. We hope that you'll be with us next time. We'll be coming to you from Morgantown, West Virginia, with our guests Nellie Mackay, Hot Club of Cowtown, Glenn Phillips, Chris Barron, and more. You're listening to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia. Mountain Stage is supported in part by this station and by West Virginia Public Broadcasting. Hotel accommodations for Mountain Stage guests are provided by the Charleston Marriott Town Center Hotel, centrally located for the business and pleasure traveler in downtown Charleston's retail district. This is Mountain Stage from NPR. Well, thank you. Welcome to the second hour of Mountain Stage. If you just tuned in, it's our 36th anniversary. We've had some great music so far, and we got a lot more to come. A little later during this hour, we're going to be hearing from Mr. Tyler Childers and his band. We're going to begin the hour with a very good friend of ours who's been on the Mountain Stage. I don't know, we couldn't even count him. He's been here 9 times as a performer, either with his band by himself or with Robert Schaefer. And then he's been on a lot of other times where he came on to play mandolin with folks, because he really is not only one of the best solo mandolin players, but also an incredible accompanist. His name is Johnny Staats, and Johnny has won a lot of awards around West Virginia, starting back in the 90s when he won everything there was, the best mandolin player, the best guitar player, and even I think he was in there with the fiddle playing too. He's got a fine band. He lives a little bit north of here, and Johnny, a while ago, had a real breakthrough album called Wires and Wood. He recorded down in Nashville, but he decided that instead of taking off and trying to hit the road as a musician, he was going to stick with his day job, which is a UPS driver. And that's what he still is, and that's why his band is called the Delivery Boys. They're going to do a few tunes for you now. I know he's going to do some cover songs. He may do an original tune. To those of you who never heard Johnny sing and just heard him play mandolin, you got a big treat in store. Along with the Delivery Boys, please welcome back Mr. Johnny Staats.
Well, we appreciate you. Is everybody having a great time out here tonight? It's good to be a part of this Mountain Stage, and we'd like to thank all the Mountain Stage folks for having Johnny Staats and the Delivery Boys. But we're going to pick a little song right here for you. This is one of my favorite Billy Ed Wheeler songs right here. This one's called A Cold Tattoo. I hope you like it. Traveling down that cold table, listening to my rubber-tired smile, and by the Buckeye and White Sycamore, well, I'm leaving you behind. Oh, I've been a coal miner all my life, laying down the tracks in the hole. Act like I would be by the wind, love things as blue as someone said that's a strange tattoo you have on the side of your head. I said that's a mark of a number 94, a little bit more than I've been dead. Oh, but I love the rumble and I love the dark. I love the cool of the sleigh. Going down this cold road looking for a job, it's traveling looking. I won't have to worry about losing my job to bad times and big machines. Oh, I got no job and I got no pay, just got a worried soul. Pretty strange tattoo on the side of my head, left by the number 9 cold. Oh, I got no job and I got no pay, just got a worried soul. A strange tattoo on the side of my head, left by the number 9 cold. Left by the number 9 cold. Left by the number 9 cold. Oh, we appreciate that. I know Billy does too. This little song right here is called I Know Your Rider Is Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone. Seldom Seen was still is one of my favorite bluegrass groups. And we'll dedicate this to the late John Duffy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. Oh, to miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Well, they didn't last night, Lord, and I take my rest. I laid down last night, Lord, can I take my rest? My mom was wandering like a wild geese in the west. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. The sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. The sun's gonna shine in my back door someday. March wind's gonna blow my cares away. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your. Yeah, the whistle was headlight, yeah, on a northbound train. Yes, the whistle was headlight on a northbound train. I'd shine my light through the cool Colorado rain. Yes, I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Come on in there, Butchie. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. I know you're right, gonna miss me when I'm gone. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Gonna miss your baby from rolling in your arms. Well, we thank you. Thank you. Like Larry said, I've been working for UPS now for about 31 years, and I drive out of Parkersburg, West Virginia, and yeah, there you go. Thanks, Mom. But this song right here, I thought it was high time to go ahead and write a song about UPS. And now I'll grant it, maybe this ain't my boss's favorite song, But it talks about what we go through every day as a UPS driver. So hope you like it. This one's called Never Mind the Mule, Just Load the Wagon. So, my buddy Jeff Dorton would always say that. He would be loading his truck next to me every day, and I'd always hear him say, "Never mind the mule, boys, just load the wagon." Man, I thought this is going to make a great bluegrass song. So here it is. Hope you like it. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, it's started for a new day. Just show up to work and hear the boss man say,
Well, we're loaded down to the hills, you better get on your way. Son, climb with that big brown truck and buddy on your face.
So never mind the mule, just load the wagon. That is what I hear most every day. So never mind the mule, just load the wagon. Sometimes I don't know if it's worth the pay. Oh, it's 100 stops, 200 miles, get her on down the road, trying to make time for this heavy load.
Whether it's rain, hail, sleet, or snow, there ain't no place big around won't go. Cause I'm a-driving down this long and dusty road. Now sometimes
Mind the mule, just load the wagon. That is what I hear most every day. So never mind the mule, just load the wagon. Sometimes I don't know if it's worth the pay. So never mind the mule, just load the wagon. That is what I hear most every day. So never mind the mule, just load the wagon. Sometimes I don't know if it's worth the pay. Sometimes I don't know if it's worth the pay. Oh, yeah. We thank you. Well, we got time for one more right here, and I'd like to bring out a special guest right here. And it's a boy I've been picking music with for many years, and probably we all got our heroes in life, and I'd say this was one of my top heroes right here. This boy right here can flat out play a guitar, and I'll tell you what, let's give him a great big hand, Mr. Robert Schaefer over here from Charleston, West Virginia. Not only can he outpick me, he also outdresses me every time. Thank you, Robert. I know. We're going to do a little Irish number for you. I just got back from Ireland, and I got the Irish feeling to me, so do a little bit of whiskey before breakfast. I think they had that over there. Yep.
Johnny Staats and the Delivery Boys with special guest Robert Schaefer. That's Ray Cosson on the fiddle, Doug Cosson on the guitar, Dave Yvonne on the solo guitar, Dan Vaughn on the bass, Butch Osborne on the banjo, Robert Schaefer, two-time American flat-pick champion on the guitar, and Mr. Johnny Staats on the vocals and the mandolin. And his latest recording is called Time Moves On. You heard one tune from that one. He's got a lot of originals on there and songs that he co-wrote too. Mr. Johnny Staats. Oh, Lord, we're going to have to calm down for a minute now. Turned over to the man who's always calm, cool, and collected over there at the piano. He's going to do the classic, traditional country blues song, Trouble in Mind. Welcome him, would you, Mr. Bob Thompson. You can find his music at colortones.com. Trouble in Mind right there by our own Mr. Bob Thompson. You're listening to Mountain Stage on NPR. Support for Mountain Stage is provided by Adventures on the Gorge, the adventure resort where wild meets wonderful on the rim of the New River Gorge. Find whitewater rafting, rock climbing, zip lining, and lodging at adventuresonthegorge.com. If you have questions or suggestions for us, we'd love to hear from you. Our email address is larry@mountainstage.org. Of course, you can also connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and peek behind the scenes on our Instagram account. All of these links are at our website, mountainstage.org. Well, that was about 5 years ago, back in 2014. I heard a young man singing at a festival here in town. We'd booked him at Festival Charleston, went down to hear what he sounded like, and right away I knew that, number one, I wanted to get him on Mountain Stage, and number two, the potential for him was unlimited. And that has been proven. Came back and visited us once before, but now he has caught fire, and deservedly so. His name is Tyler Childers, and he just put out an album called Country Squire, and it was co-produced by Sturgill Simpson. And he's got a lot of the same guys that were with him last time are with him today. What a great songwriter he is. You know, when you live where we do, in the heart of Appalachia, people come in, they write about us, and they report about us, and we don't always recognize what they're putting out there. But when Tyler writes songs, we recognize everything that he sings about. It's great to have him back on the show. Please welcome back Mr. Tyler Childers.
Well, tonight I'm up in Chillicothe, downwind from the paper mill. I'm out here spitting on the sidewalk, taking in the factory smells. Heading to Chitin, smoking out the window in the air of that gas pipe leak. I wonder if she's cringing at the same time, thinking pretty thoughts of me. I was up for hours this morning, pulling traps before I said goodbye. I plan to tan myself a fox hide and hang it on my darling bride. 'Cause they tell me that it's gonna be a big one, and the snow's setting in. And I don't want her cold, well I ain't at home the way that I've been. Spending my nights in a barroom, Lord, turning them songs into 2x4s. Screaming about the day that'll sit by the fire, huddle with my honey in a country squire. Well, tomorrow we hit the country music highway, on our way to Circleville. We're off to do some weekend warring while we sing and drink our fill. Now when I ain't out playing on the sixth string with the nickels I acquire, I'm trying to fix her up a castle. It's called the Country Squire. It's a 24-foot long vessel that measures 8 feet wide. It's a 53-year-old camper, it's made to pull behind. And I'm building through the studs and the rafters, and I'm building back piece by piece. I'm trying to fix her up a tempo, my lady of the Estill Springs. Spending my nights in a barroom, Lord, turning the songs into 2x4s. Screaming about the day that'll sit by the fire, huddle with my honey in a country squire. myself a family in a cabin on the hill. And I might have to come off of the highway to help with the family bills. But when the kids got a little older, on the day that I retire, I'll take her somewhere warm for the winter, pulling our country squire. Spending my nights in a bar and Lord, turning them songs into 2x4s. Dreaming about the day that I'll sit by the fire, huddled with my honey in a country squire. Dreaming about the day that I'll sit by the fire, huddled with my honey in a country squire. Where we dropped off the prettiest little girl, same grade as me. Tried to kiss her once in the aisle of the bus, and she walked right over me. Face down in the gum on the floor, I was hoping that she'd change her mind. But I swear as she walked down the stairs, she didn't even wave goodbye. Didn't even wave goodbye. Ray Dixon didn't take no lip, kick you right off the bus. Stop by your house on the way out of the holler and tell your mama where you was. He didn't need no driver's aid to keep a bunch of kids in line. All he needed was a glare in the mirror and a paddle that he carved from pine. Blistering bum kids alive. Dropped off the prettiest little girl, same grade as me. I held on to hope for 8 long years, and by the time that I turned 16, I wasn't awkward, I was a real smooth talker with my very own pickup truck. I'd take her home, and if her parents weren't around, she'd bring me in and give me some. Bring me in and give me some. Except to say nowadays old Ray couldn't keep her out very long. And I'm glad the little girl's dad never found out what was going on. I know he'd have killed me in a minute and he wouldn't have left no trace. Hogs will eat about anything you give them, but don't let nothing go to waste. Don't let nothing go to waste. This is where we dropped off the prettiest little girl, same grade as me. In a small corner bar, he sits there drinking, lost as a ball in a field full of corn. Further away than he ever imagined, that he'd ever end up from the place he was born. Now no more forlorn as a creek who drank whiskey. There wasn't you see out the side of your eye. Now they knew not his name, and he knew not the faces, and he knew not the how, nor the reason for why you could ever wake up. I wanna keep on living in a place where a friend is such a hard thing to find, and for everyone you meet, there's a whole mess of people trying like hell to pull you on down to the level they're on, the trouble they're tending, in the mess that they've made, in the gutter they've found. And he'd rather be dead than alive one more minute in this God-forsaken town. When he was a kid, Lord, he never dreamt it, all the ways that city comes to pull it down. Some fellas do drugs and things of that nature. Some fellas chase girls, hang on their arms. Some fellas get by on practically nothing. Some fellas get pissed in small corner bars, and they'd rather be dead than alive one more minute in this God-forsaken town. When they were all kids, or they never dreamt it, always that city comes to pull it down. Good to be here. Appreciate Mr. Gross and everybody here at Mountain Stage for having us out. This is the third time we've had the privilege to be here. This is the first time that we've been with this gentleman over here, all the way to my extreme right. Born in Magoffin County, the mayor of Mashford, the Sultan of Stringtown, Mr. Chase Lewis. We'll do your love song here. Driving through the road work, oh, the work they took forever on the road. Cones blur like memories of the miles we shared between. Place you learn to say your prayers, the place I took to praying. Loading in and breaking down my road dog door deal dreams. Long before we ever met, I made up my direction. Long before I knew the half of half I'm sure of now. Though I'd say it ain't the way that you'd have gone about it. You follow me and lead me on and never let me down. So I'll love you till my lugs give out. I ain't lying. I'm all yours. You're all mine. There ain't two ways around it. There tussled through the night. If I'd known she was religious, then I wouldn't have came stone to the house. Such an angel, too messed up to get back home. Looking over West Virginia, smoking spirits on the roof, she asked, ain't anybody told you that them things are bad for you? I said, many folks have warned me, there's been several people try, but up till now there ain't been nothing that I couldn't leave behind. Hold me close, my dear, sing your whispering song softly in my ear, and I will sing along. Honey, tell me how your love runs true, and how I can always count on you. Be there when the bullets fly. I'd run across the river just to hold you tonight. Well, my heart is sweating bullets from the circles it has raced, like a little feathered Indian calling out the clouds for rain. I go running through the thicket, I go careless through the thorns, just to hold her for a minute, though it leave me wanting more. Hold me close, my dear, sing your whispering song softly in my ear, and I will sing along. Honey, tell me how your love runs true, and how I can always count on you. Be there when the bullets fly. I'd run across the river just to hold you tonight. This is a hillbilly commentary on reincarnation. It's a pretty prominent subject in hillbilly music. Once I was dying breed, chewing on an ancient leaf, before we took the notion to keep up with the times, leave them all behind. Chisel to the paper, tattoos on the ether, fading in the light. All the while I gorge my gut, come the time that I would run, running high and low to find my priest or queen. Keep me warm till spring, when I go out with my friends, and I graze the land and wonder when I'd see your face again. Today met my doom, took one in the boiler room, put food on the table of a dying breed of man. Once I was a broken heart, and once I tore your heart apart. Once my heart put out working out a living as a favorite lane. Today I met my doom, the fox got in the chicken coop, doing all he knew to do to feed a hungry den. Births along this ride, being born again. Once I was and you were too, we were both the word of truth. We built this world together with a loud and mighty bang. Lord, it sounded like a train and echoed o'er the land. We came up with a game to play, being born again. I can't leave the women alone. Omaha sheriff and his boys getting ready for slaughter, looking for the man who turned on the mayor's daughter. Omaha honey had a hold on a hell of a pain. Down in the holler of the evening you could hear her sing. Yeah, said funky but showed me the toast. Turned around, stepped on the toes, turned me on and turned me down, flipped me like a hand in a glove, taught me how to love, y'all. Between me and the hounds, Rosie told sheriff and his deputies are tracking me down. Well, I wish I was back in Macon, taking it easy. If a man's gonna eat fried chicken, he's gotta get greasy. Omaha honey had a hold on a hell of a thing. Down in the holler of the evening you could hear her sing, yeah. Said funky but showed me the toast. I turned around, stepped on my toes, turned me on and turned me down, fit me like a hand in a glove, taught me how to love, y'all. Omaha honey had a hold on a hell of a thing. Down in the holler of the evening you could hear her sing, yeah. Said funky but showed me the toast. I turned around, stepped on my toes, turned me on and turned me down, fit me like a hand in a glove, taught me how to love, y'all. You remind me of a Sunday back home in old Kentucky, with the church choirs just belting to the pines. And I love you like the mountains loves the way the morning opens to a soft and bright greeting from the sun. So if it make you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones? Well, I used to ride a Mustang, and I'd run that thing on high hopes till they raised the price of dreams so high I couldn't pay. So I let that car just sit there when I should have took you driving with the windows down while the music played. So if it make you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones? Darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones? How about these guys? Do this one. This is off of the new album. Came out in August. Works a night shift at the depot with a pistol and a light, and he guards them roasting missiles, counting whitetail to pass the time. And he's worked there for a long while since he came home from overseas, helping kill Cord, fight the good fight, and bring back Dad to its knees. And it was hotter than the mountain, but it weren't so he couldn't stand. And it weren't so much a heat wave, nearly as much as all the sand. Now his daddy, he's a log man with a good leg and a fake that he got off of a buddy, and a shit shot that he made. And he worked them hands of splinters, and he raised them young and dry with a little bit of scripture on an acreage paradise. And he'd go out on a weekend and he played like Clarence White. Clarence had a real job and picked the guitar when there was time. with his eldest and Steve, and they swap tales about the racing, and they tell the awful slides, and they go home, they have a notion, and the muskie quit the biting.
Well, if I play it right, and I've got time for one more here, I do believe with you.
Daddy worked like a mule mining Pike County coal. They messed up his back, couldn't work anymore. He said, one of these days you'll get out of these hills. Keep your nose on the grindstone, out of the pills. Keep in mind that a man's just as good as his word. It takes twice as long to build bridges you burn, and there's hurt you can cause time alone cannot heal. Keep your nose on the grindstone, out of the pills. Oh, Daddy, I've been trying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world that I can't seem to shake. But I remember your words, Lord, that bring me to chills. Keep your nose on the grindstone, out of the pills. See, the ways of this world just bring you to tears. Keep the Lord in your heart and you'll have nothing to fear. Live the best that you can and don't lie, don't steal. Keep your nose on the grindstone, out of the pills. Oh, Daddy, I've been trying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world can't seem to shake. But I remember your words, Lord, that bring me to chills. Keep your nose on the grindstone, out of the pills. Keep your nose on the grindstone.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
Tyler Childers right there. The latest is called Country Squire. And Tyler will be on tour until May. He's going to be going out and doing an arena tour with Sturgill Simpson. Of course, Sturgill and David Ferguson produced both Country Squire and Purgatory, his last couple of records. And it's so great to see a man like that with that kind of talent now getting what he deserves and getting huge crowds all over this country, not just in Appalachia, but everywhere. Great to see Tyler again and all of his band. Our thanks to Tyler Childers. Our thanks to Johnny Staats and the Delivery Boys, and to Bill Lepp, and to Mary Gauthier, to Miss Tess and the Talkbacks. All of these folks made this a very special birthday show for us. That is our 36th, and we hope that you'll be around for a few more. We hope that we'll be around for a few more. We're going to thank you for being here and the auditorium at the Culture Center in Charleston. And of course, thank you for listening there on the radio, because without you, there would be no Mountain Stage. We never forget that. We hope you'll be tuned in next time. We'll be coming to you from West Virginia University in Morgantown with our special guests Nellie Mackay, Hot Club of Cowtown, Glenn Phillips, and Chris Barron. Mountain Stage is produced by Larry Gross and Adam Harris. Associate producers are Jeff Shirley and Vasilia Skoras. Assistant producers John Ingram. Production managers Paul Flaherty. Engineered by Francis Fisher, Richie Collins, Jim Raines, and Patrick Stevens. With production assistance from Michael Lipton, Mary Lee, Lance Schrader, Chris Mead, Big J, and Woogie. Photographic services are provided by Brian Blauser. Promotions coordinated by Vasilia Skoras, John Ingram, and Music in Motion Promotions. Special thanks to Mountain Stage members Walter and Sean Williams for their generous support. Lodging is provided by the Marriott Town Center Hotel, centrally located for the business and pleasure traveler in downtown Charleston. Why don't you go out and hear some live music wherever you are, just as soon as you can. You've been listening to Mountain Stage, live performance radio from the Mountain State of West Virginia. Gonna do an old bluegrass number now. Any bluegrass lover knows this one. Learned it from Carter and Ralph Stanley. Over yonder stands little Maggie with a dram glass in her hand. She's drinking away her trouble and courting some other man. Tyler Children. Oh, how can I ever stand it? Just see those two blue eyes shining in the moonlight like two diamonds in the sky. Johnny Staats on the mandolin. Okay, Ray, play your fiddle over there. Miss Tess gonna sing it.
Pretty flowers were made for blooming. Pretty stars were meant to shine. Pretty women were made for loving. Little Maggie was made for mine.
Robert Schaefer here. All right, Butch. Johnny Staats gonna sing it for you.
Last time I saw the she was sitting on the banks of the sea with the old for a friend. Ain't the angel on her.
Look at that steel guitar. Michael Lipton. Henry Bob Thompson on the piano. Let's all sing that last verse together. Go away, little man. Go and do the best that you can. I'll give me another. You can get you another man. Everybody play it one more time.
Support for Mountain Stage is provided by Bailey and Glasser and by the West Virginia Tourism Office. This is NPR.